Hey, Jasmine. Hey, what's up? You found me again. What is up? I might have to put some light on over here and get a jacket because I am cold. I might go grab my jacket really quick. Or at least let my windows up. Focus, LOL. I don't even know what that word means. What does focus mean? What does focus even mean? Yeah, today's been really interesting. Early this morning, I spoke to my ex and I felt so bad for him. Just complete breakdown on the phone. Oh, I hate being someone who's done that much hurt for someone else. I hope that his girlfriend makes him happy. I really do. I really do hope that his girlfriend makes him happy. Seriously. Oh. Isolation is so real, man, especially out here in a van by myself with my cat. Like, I be having full conversations with her, you know, and then I have to stop for a second. I'm like, what am I doing? But she's just chilling. She's just like, yeah, go on, you know, go on. I find myself scrolling through Facebook dating of all places. What is that? Oh, just looking for someone to talk to, you know. It's not linear. Absolutely. It's a spiral. It's exactly what it is. Excuse me. My cat's like, what? Yep, that's the truth. I'm scrolling through Facebook dating and I'm like, this is so toxic. I can't be on here. I cannot be looking for someone to talk to. This is crazy. I'm right now I'm manifesting someone that I can call late at night, preferably someone attractive, just to fuck around with, like just to chat and have serious conversations and deep conversations and just, you know, that's good. Dating isn't for everyone at, you know, how would I say this? It's not for everyone all the time. Does that make any sense? Like sometimes it's good to just not do it. But if you're ready to learn more about yourself, then it's the best thing to do is to kind of just cat hair everywhere. You know, I was thinking about my ex last night and don't sing shadow work at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. is crazy though. Think about your ex that late at night. That is late. You probably had some dreams about him too. Oh, that is a language I don't know, Jose. I'm sorry. Especially when you're going through a spiritual awakening, that shit isn't compatible. No, not really. No, it's not. It's a good choice to make, though. Seriously. It's good to kind of back off on that. I've been forced to do some things that I, you know, wasn't planning on doing in a long time because I'm so used to being on TikTok. I'm going to start another painting pretty soon. Try to sell that. I will sell that. I am also going to get a sign to put on my vehicle so that when I drive around and stuff, people can see that, hey, I'm a psychic medium. Book me like right now. I'm going to park here. Book me. I had things that I had to address. Yeah. I get that. I completely get that. Joseel, I know I pronounced your name wrong, but I only speak English. I'm sorry. If you want to copy and paste that into Google Translate, but that's a lot of work. I used to have to do that for my clients. It's not fun. That's the thing about the thing that I don't like about translation issues is because they'll go by, like, a lot of people that don't know English, they'll go by your facial expressions. And if you're someone like me who makes, you know, like bitchy facial expressions, they immediately think that you're pissed off at them. I used to get that all the time. I'm just like, no, you're good. I'm just saying I don't know what you're saying. You're trying to tell me something, and I can't understand you. The good thing about healing is realizing and learning to be a healer. Yeah. I mean, we're all students and teachers. We're constantly learning, constantly sharing. Like I always say that I have 2 mentors right now. And I help them. They help me. You know, I'm the mentee and the mentor. Not sure if I'm going to stay here or park where I normally park. But I'm going to go on some hikes tomorrow. So I'm going to go hiking tomorrow. I'm going to do one trail first just to kind of get the terrain a little bit, get used to it. And I also don't have any hiking shoes. So I'm going to be wearing my Vans, which are flat as shit. And they're going to be so uncomfortable. But I don't have any money to get any hiking shoes. So I'm not even going to worry about it. But I'm going to go hiking. It's been a while. The last trail I went on was 7 miles. And that's my favorite trail in Florida. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Very, very different terrain, obviously. Like, this is straight desert. You know, freaking... ain't shit out here, but nothing. Have you been using hashtags to generate audience boosting? On what exactly? Like on my posts and stuff? On my posts on TikTok or on here? I use hashtags every once in a while. I never really like, I don't know if they work. I don't focus on that stuff. I should, but I don't. I'm just like, look, what matters to me, what I've noticed, it matters when I post as opposed to the hashtag. Sometimes my videos do better when I don't use hashtags. On TikTok specifically. Instagram and YouTube I barely get much engagement. A little bit more than I used to, but not that much. I actually want to hire an assistant at some point. I'd like to hire someone to do all that for me. Not do it for me, but tell me what to do. And then like remind me to do these things. Because I just want to go with the flow from this point forward. I don't want to be on the side of business where I'm doing everything like I've always done in all the businesses I've ever had. I don't want to keep doing everything myself. I'd like to have someone help me, remind me to do shit. Like, hey, don't forget to post today. Don't forget to talk about this today. Don't forget to do this. Or, hey, I sent this email for you. Hey, I created this email for you. Newsletter update. Blah, blah, blah. I want a personal assistant. And I will have one at some point. But right now I can't pay them. I've been a personal assistant. I've done it twice, maybe 3 times without being paid. Not really, at least. I had one person that was like really adamant about paying me, and I appreciate him for that. I know that he did that on purpose because he knows that I was infatuated with him. So he was just trying to make sure that there wasn't anything that would, you know, make him feel guilty for allowing me to help him without being paid. So I appreciate him for that. He was the most recent person I've worked with, and he is in a completely different country right now. So I think he thinks that at some point we will be working together like that, but I don't see me working for him. I see us working together. It's funny. I just messaged you on IG. Did you do that before you came in here, or? Excuse me. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'll see it when I get out of here. Oh, man. So I'm also doing manifestation coaching. That is a new thing I'm doing right now. And dream interpretation. Technically, the dream interpretation can be included in a regular reading because sometimes that happens. Someone will ask me about a dream, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Um, but the manifestation coaching is what I'm pretty excited about right now. So, I have the psychic awareness thing that I'm doing, Awaken Your Inner Oracle, and now I have something called Unlocking Your Manifesting Power. So I figured I might as well go ahead and just keep sharing how I got what I have, and how I was able to bring that in my reality. That was a download this morning. So I went ahead and created the offer. And I'll talk about it more when I get on TikTok again. It's pretty cool. Sorry. I don't know why their messages are being retracted. It's weird. Yeah, I can do questions today. Might as well. I'm trying to build my audience on YouTube, and it's just very different. It's very different on here. The people that do come on, they're from a different country, and I don't know what they're saying. They don't know what I'm saying. They're just kind of here wondering what I'm doing. So I have to get my times right. I don't know. YouTube Live is interesting. I just need to keep posting on YouTube and then keep building my client base. It's funny because it's like starting all over again on TikTok. Is there anything that I'm not seeing about my life right now? Yes, you're not seeing how far you've come. It's like you keep glossing over that for some reason. You're not seeing the truth or the entirety of how much you've grown. You're like, okay, what next? What next? What next? I think it'd be dope for you to collaborate with other creators. I should. Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Actually, I have one person I can ask for help. He's actually the same guy I was just talking about. Girl, I see glimpses of how far I've grown. You don't want to see glimpses. You want to see the full story. No, you're doing great. Thank you for reminding me of that. I will go ahead and reach out to a couple of people that I know have more followers than I do. I used to crash out, now I'm reformed. You went to crash out rehab. No more crashing out. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to a couple of people. And if you know someone with a lot of followers that's in this industry, or even if they're not in this industry, I'm trying to reach everyone. It doesn't have to be spiritual, because life is spiritual. Everyone, we're all spiritual. It has nothing to do with it being a specific genre of, content creating that they do. If you know someone with a lot of followers, please let me know. I almost put my finger in my nose. I've been having visions of me in my wildest dreams. I love that. I love that for you. I've never even heard it said that way, so that's awesome. I think I scratched my eyelid. Ouch. Yeah, it's a good idea. I need to take a mental note of that. It's something I did a long time ago for another business, but I haven't done it for this. Girl, whoever marries me, inspired by Hannah Montana. My face is so puffy. I need to drink some more water, that's why. I haven't had enough water today. So yeah, I'm like stagnant for the next 3 days, and it's gonna be a wild 3 days. I'm already kind of bored. I have to make sure I reserve my gas. This is showing me that I need another set of income. Not completely relying on TikTok, because this is not good. Oh, because I'm in TikTok jail, I have no form of income that's coming in. So I got to reserve my gas, my food, my water, so I don't run out. Yeah, getting into TikTok jail meant more than just me not being able to go live. It meant that I have no money. So I have to I need another source of income at this point. I'm an artist, I just don't want to paint. I also don't have any supplies. So either way, I have to wait a little bit to get supplies and then start painting again. I'm also thinking about I'm not thinking, I am going to go ahead and get some signs for my vehicle so that people know when I drive around what I do and they can book me then. Yeah, I'm thinking about posting up in certain places too for like an hour or two or something. Putting a sign next to a table. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do some farmers markets. It's a good idea. Oh, I was looking at going to Atlanta, Georgia next too, by the way. Yeah, on the way back to Florida, I think I'm going to roll through Atlanta. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. It depends on if I'm in a hurry or not. Because I want to take my time this time. I want to actually, like, instead of just go through, I want to actually stop a couple places and, you know. So maybe they'll let me set up at little 5 Points. Set up on the corner and do some readings. I saw that, yeah. I've been there before too. Really common place, very popular little place. Nothing special about them, just, you know, the regular average psychic shop, but it's the location that's good. It's the location. So if I can ask them to set up right in front, yeah, it's going to be good. And then go get some dinner or something over there. Let me go roll my windows up really quick. It's getting cold. Oh, hush. What are you meowing about? So I'm going to go ahead and set up in front of Crystal Blue. It's a good idea, actually. Thank you for mentioning that. I need to take some notes because you gave me some good ideas. I'll remember. So set up in front of Crystal Blue and then reach out to people who have a larger following than I do. Yep. And then from Atlanta, go down to Florida. It's so funny because I used to think 8 hours was like a long way to drive. And now I'm like, that ain't shit. That ain't shit. I could do that in one day. Let's go. Especially if there is no mountains. Oh, yeah, all day. I remember I was like, oh, it's more than 8 hours. Yeah, right. I drove about 3,900 miles, 3,900 miles so far. Yeah, 3,900 about. It's crazy. In this van that is not perfect, that is needs to be fixed bad. But we'll see. You have a favorite place to eat in Atlanta? Those of you that just joined, by the way, if you have a question for me, please let me know. I'm doing free readings. I'm a psychic medium. I've been doing this for a couple of months now, officially. Been doing it all my life, unofficially. And I travel in my van, as you can see, with my cat. My goal is to teach you guys how to do this for yourself. But in the meantime, this is how I make my money, as I do readings. So if you want an actual private reading, the link's in my bio. If you have a quick question, then go ahead and ask away. I might try to stay on a little bit longer tonight, just to see if I can get more people in here. For those of you that just joined, I am doing free readings. So if you have a question, please let me know. I wish there was a... Actually, there is. Hold on. I like to retouch. I used to be able to add a sticker though. What happened to the sticker option? That's weird. For those of you that just joined, I'm offering free readings. So if you have a question, post it in the comments. I could have sworn there was an option for a sticker on here. I guess not. I'm a psychic medium, by the way. Officially. I'll share with you what I hear, what I see, what I feel, any messages you guys have for you. I also access your Akashic records. Sometimes I see past lives without you asking. And what else? Sometimes a loved one comes through to help me out if I need it. I love when that happens. Does anyone here have a question for me? What do you feel about me? Am I happy, sad, angry, empty, etc.? What do I feel about you? That's interesting. What I'm feeling is a heavy curiosity, but also skepticism. It's like, you know that this stuff is real, but at the same time, it's like you haven't seen enough evidence. And by this stuff, I mean, I guess I would just say psychic stuff. Supernatural, paranormal. Paranormal is probably not a word I would use. I would use just supernatural, spiritual stuff. So speaking on that, let's talk about some things that have happened in your past that is something that you can't explain. Something that you can't explain. I know it's going to take you probably a little bit to think back, but think about something. What was it? Let's see. I'm seeing a Ouija board. Did you ever have a Ouija board? And it looks like an actual Ouija board. It wasn't like handmade or anything like that. I don't have. So you've never had a Ouija board? You never played around with it? Or did someone else have a Ouija board that brought it over? One of your friends, maybe? Never. Okay. And you haven't watched the movie Ouija board or anything like that? Why? So the reason why I'm asking that is because I actually see that you were playing around with it, or someone in your vicinity was playing around with it, and it was just something that was a moment in your life that wasn't very positive. Is there someone else with you right now that could have been that could have been their experience? Because sometimes I pull from people that are around you, especially if you yourself are not open with being read right now, which does happen. There's a specific energy that I get with someone who is not open to being read by me. And it's the same energy that you're giving off right now. And there's nothing bad, by the way. I'm not saying anything bad about you. It just means that it's not meant for me to read you. And that's happened probably about, you would be the fourth person, I would say, that's happened to out of all the different readings I've had. Absolutely not, Jasmine. No, you don't. I've read you like many times. It's a specific energy that only 4 people total, including Meow Meow here, is giving off. I'll be honest with you. I think it has I feel hints of skepticism. And I think sometimes when someone is skeptical about a specific thing, I like that word, elusive. Okay. Even if they want to be open to being read and they say they're open to being read, they're actually not open to being read. So it's just not meant for me to read them. And maybe at some point they will be. Yeah, that's fine. No big deal. You and was only one other person here, so. Oh yeah, one thing I will add about that specific energy, I noticed that if I can't read them, I end up pulling from people around them or from whoever else is in the chat. So it's actually pretty interesting. I'll start pulling information from everyone else but them. So Jasmine, I have to ask you, have you ever played with the Ouija board? Since you're the only other person here, assuming that Meow Meow has no one else around her or him. Why am I seeing a Ouija board? I don't think I've ever actually played with a Ouija board. I've had one. I think my ex-husband had one. As a kid, I did. Okay. That might have been you that I'm pulling from, which is funny. Now, when you did that, Jasmine, were you alone or were you with a couple of friends? Because I don't see the person alone. I see a couple of people around you. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right, well, tell you more about what? I just remember playing it. I see it. It's so funny. Yeah. And it was traditional Ouija board. It was like that brown, what color is that? Like, I guess I'll just say brown or tan lettering with like the black. Yeah. Oh, okay. So the reason why I'm bringing up the Ouija board is because it seems like that experience at some point changed your perspective of the supernatural. I still have it. No shit. Why do you still have that thing, man? So I'm a big fan of, negative energy doesn't just come in from a specific item. But because the Ouija board itself is widely known as something to not mess around with, because we believe that as a unity consciousness, unfortunately, we've created the how would I say it, the energy to be negative around the Ouija board. Does that make any sense? that tool wasn't originally meant to be something dark, but we've created the I don't know how to say this. We've formed the damn, I don't know. I don't know how to say this. I'm sorry. I don't plan on using it. My dreams are enough. Good. Yeah. We basically made it a bad thing because of our minds. In short, I have to figure out another way to say that, but you know what I mean. So the Ouija board is interesting. It's definitely the images or the visions I was getting from you, Jasmine, instead of Meow Meow. So Meow Meow, I'll be honest with you, your energy does not want me to read it. You don't feel very open to me right now, and that's fine. It happens. Recreated a narrative and it's stimulated fear. Thank you. I was like, what is this word that I'm looking for? Yes, it's basically we created this sort of mindset around it, you know, and it did stimulate fear. And we did that. So originally it's just meant to be another tool, another divination tool, but it's much more than that now. The person that owns it can change that though. I just don't feel like you're going to really focus on that right now. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I've been having some wild dreams. My mom's been visiting me pretty much every night, doing random things. We're always on some sort of mission. It's pretty funny. The dream Thursday where I progressed in my trauma. Why was I calm in the dream? Did I grow and accept the trauma and stop blaming myself? Okay, what I'm getting is that they're showing you how to accept it. It's not that you've gotten there officially yet, but they're showing you that what you're doing, if you are calm and you're not judging yourself, whenever you think about this thing, that's how you know you've gotten it. You've gotten to the point that you're looking for. If you could look at some sort of traumatic event in your life from a very bird's eye point of view, from the outside looking in, and no longer say, I was a victim, I was a perpetrator, this is just something that happened that allowed me to be who I am today. And I know that's really hard, especially if it's something that's a big T trauma. I know that's like, oh, why would I do that? No, but I'm telling you, and Jasmine, I know that you already know this. I'm just saying it for everyone else here. Until you can forgive yourself for whatever role you played in every event in your life, and then in turn forgive whoever else was involved, then you're going to constantly have that resentment deep inside. Even that resentment's going to turn into an illness and it's going to affect you for the rest of your life. Fact. So you have to let it go. And by let it go, I mean heal from it. And by heal, I mean accepting that it happened and that it happened because the people that were a part of this event were in the awareness and only, I have to be careful what I say here, was doing the best that they could in that moment based on their level or theme of consciousness and awareness. So that's a hard part. That's the hard part to actually come to terms with, because people have gone through some crazy ass shit. You know what I mean? And the last thing you want to hear is some hippy dippy love and light bullshit when it comes to healing. But the fact of the matter is, at our core, we are love and light. And until we can return back to that, our mindset actually comes back to, looking at everyone, including ourselves, with love, then we're going to constantly struggle and have to heal. Showing me I can get there. I keep using it as an excuse. Yeah. Yeah, it's showing you that it's available, that it's possible. Am I doing better with shadow work, girl? Because I'm always addressing something. Just because you made a list, you need to just be in it and just like, have fun with it. You know you're doing well when you can have fun with this. When you can say, you know what? I'm afraid to go hiking by myself. I'm afraid to go hiking by myself. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on a 0.50 trail, which is a half a mile, which is nothing basically. and I'm gonna walk, and I'm gonna turn around and go back to my car. And the next time I do it, I'm gonna do 1 mile. And the next time I do it, I'm gonna do 2 miles. So just challenge yourself. It's beautiful. I love solo dating too much. Not afraid to be alone anymore. Solo dating. You mean like going out by yourself and stuff? Yeah. I love that too, actually. I meet cool people when I'm not with anyone else, because I'm so focused on the person that I'm with. There's no opening for me to make new friends. So when I'm open to it, then I'll talk to the person around me. You know, I'll be like, hey, my name's Tanisha, blah, 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 blah. How are you doing? What's the best food to get here? Hey, how you doing? Can my son see his higher self in physical form, his self in the higher dimensions? Jenny, is your son autistic? Because I'm getting big on the autism spectrum. And if you don't feel comfortable telling me that, then I completely understand. You could say maybe he's special needs or something. But I'm getting heavy autistic or on the spectrum. Yes, he is. Awesome. Okay. Yes, to answer your question, absolutely. He's seeing much more than that too. Hold on. I'm seeing this gorgeous world. It's like an alien planet in a way. And I say alien because it's just so beautiful. It can't be here. It's like the whole planet looks like this. Excuse me. Let me go back to your question, actually. Higher self in physical form. Yes. Okay. Okay. Does he stare at himself in the mirror for a long period of time? Sometimes it looks like he's talking to someone. Does he stare at himself in the mirror? No. You might not have caught him, but if you can catch him doing that, without scaring him. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Daisy. If you can catch him doing that, pay attention to what he's doing, because I see that it's easier for him to stare at himself in the mirror and speak to himself, his higher self, that way, because he sees it. He sees the higher version of himself. Let me ask you this instead. Does he take a long time in the bathroom sometimes? Or is he ever looking at a reflective object for a long period of time? It doesn't have to be a mirror. It can be anything reflective that is mirroring his image back to him. Car window, yeah. Okay. So don't scare him again. This heavy on the be careful whenever you peek in on him, because Jasmine, you're funny. Whenever you peek in on him, because it seems like he might have a problem with that. Like if he sees you peeking, then he's gonna be like, she caught us. Hey Daisy, how you doing? So I'm doing free questions for a while just to build my YouTube audience, because it's non-existent. I'm coming from TikTok. And I'm in TikTok jail right now. So what better way to take the opportunity of not doing something that I'm used to doing than to go on all my other platforms and try to build my audience. So if anything I've said that I'm going to say, I know. I got to watch out for the language that I'm using. If anything that I'm going to say to you resonates, please consider subscribing. I appreciate you. No, I have a YouTube following. It's just, I have a YouTube following and it's massive. It's 1 million followers. Okay. I am breaking ground. Yes, you're right. I know. I can like complaining sometimes. I want to complain. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Happy I just came across your live right now. I recently subscribed. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to, be on top of this, every day, 6 p.m. I was supposed to do it twice a day, but because it takes a while for people to come on from YouTube, so I just ended up sitting here talking to myself. Thanks to Jasmine. She's been here for the last 30 minutes, so I've had someone to talk to, but normally I'm just here twiddling my thumbs, talking to myself. And after a while, I'm just like, I'm over it. I was like, I'm going to go back on my phone. I'm going to go do something else. But, so, oh, okay. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, I already read that. I met you at the Bashar Talk, blah, blah, blah. Hold on. I met you at the Bashar Talk last year, 2024. No shit. How did you find me on YouTube? Did you subscribe to my channel? That's awesome. Thank you. First of all, are you, okay, I'm trying to remember which person you were. Were you the lady that asked me to, Yeah. Were you I think I know who you are. I think first of all, how you doing? I actually went this year, by the way. I focused on Sarah Brexman Cosme though. I didn't go to like any workshops. I don't know what it was wrong with me this year. I was just not feeling it. I showed up to help her out and then I went back to my van. So I live in my van, by the way, for those of you who just joined. I travel around with my cat now. No longer live in Florida. I'm actually in New Mexico. The Asian girl. Okay, I was going to ask, but I was like, I don't want to say the Asian girl. Yeah, she was the one. She was hilarious too. She was like, Bashar's like, only 2 questions or whatever. She's just like, oh, one more. Oh, one more. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I manifested all this, man. I don't even know how, but it's just like, I know, right? I appreciate you for joining and coming by. Shoot. Yeah, the excuse me, because of the fires in LA, the expo was not that great this year. It was very slim and people were desperate because, and this is the vendors. The vendors were desperate to make money because of how expensive the tables are. And no one was really there to purchase because of the fires, I'm assuming. I know. I got to change my language. I actually just did a video on this too, and I'm constantly correcting myself. I know. Didn't I say that? Listen, don't be using my own words against me. Do not be using my own words against me. I need to take that advice. We all do. We all have to, like correct ourselves. We all have to correct ourselves. I said something earlier. What did I say? I said I'm stuck. And then I was just like, I'm not stuck. I have an opportunity. I have an opportunity to do the things I've been stalling on doing because I'm on TikTok for so long. Evan, my son, is super excited. This is live chat. Oh, tell Evan I said hi. Hi, Evan, if you're here, if you can see me here on my screen. No, that's awesome. I love hearing about autistic children. Like I love hearing about like what they're doing, some of the things that they say because like they're so tapped in. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a group of autistic children that are going to like lead the spiritual, I don't know, some sort of random spiritual thing that's going to happen in the future. They're going to have their own group that's going to be like in the background making changes and stuff. Advice from spirit guides. Let's see. Obi-Ing is what got me down this rabbit hole. That's awesome. Amazing. Okay, advice from spirit guides. Yeah, they're just saying keep going. You're fine. They're saying to chill out in the morning too. It's like you're go, go, go constantly. Let the morning time be your reconnection time. Put on a meditation. You can do something, and I'm not talking about like word meditation. It's something about just frequency music. You can do Om meditations. YouTube, like those quick 1 hour ones where it's just frequency, solfeggio frequencies, something without words. You're like overstimulated like crazy right now. So try to do that, Jasmine. So I'm curious as to what questions I can ask right now. I know I want to expand on any natural gifts we can develop. Awesome. Damn, you called me out real bad. So Daisy, as far as questions go, the only thing I won't answer are end of life questions, pregnancy questions, and that's pretty much it actually. So any birth or end of life questions, I don't really do for some reason. I don't really feel connected to it. So let's say you're talking about gifts that you can develop. So I call them divine senses. They're basically psychic abilities, but I don't like saying it because I just don't like the way it sounds. We are born with all these abilities, and these are on top of the 5 senses that we already have. These senses are connected to our superconscious mind, the mind that is closest to source energy, the mind that's closest to God's frequency or God, whatever you want to call it. But it's the mind part of us that isn't diluted by the conditioning that we've been, you know, conditioned by our entire lives in the matrix. So that being said, if you can just picture a version of you that is all light, the version of you that has all the abilities you can think of, like a Marvel fucking character. You know, you can fly, you can read minds, you could teleport. That version of you exists. And the goal isn't necessarily to get to that version. The goal is to integrate our divine senses in our everyday life. So how can we do that? It starts with loving ourselves. And that's where people get hung up, because it's like, damn, actually, I love myself. But this one time in 8th grade, you know, I did some bullying shit and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I actually don't love that part of myself. And I wish I hadn't done that. It's like, well, that sounds like you got some shadow work to do. So the shadow work is what people get hung up on. Sometimes we don't remember, like me. I actually didn't remember exactly what events happened that I needed to work on. So I had to ask. And by ask, I mean, I had to ask my soul team. I said, help me remember. And they gave me 2 events that happened in my life that I completely forgot about. And then that allowed me to work through them. So what is work through them? Working through them just simply means looking at the events from a very bird's eye point of view. Like it's your first time seeing it. Because it is your first time seeing it in this level of awareness that you have right now. So when you review this event, again, from the outside looking in, without being a perpetrator or a victim, then you could say, oh, okay, that happened. And that's why my personality changed afterwards. So how can I reframe this event? How can I retell this story so that I can move on from it? And then you just keep doing that. Keep doing that. Every time something comes up, you just do it. And it gets so, you do it so much that it becomes like second nature, and you can just do it like that. So every time you feel a block, whenever you're trying to connect with your guides, connect with your ancestors, when you're trying to speak to your soul family, you just immediately reframe that story. And the best way to look at the best way to do that, like let's say you're like you're going about your day and someone triggers you. That's the perfect example of needing to do a little bit of shadow work. Because it's like, damn, why did that make me so angry? I'm not judging myself, by the way, but that made me angry. Let me look into that a little bit more without judgment. So I keep saying that because, like, for example, some people will be like, I can't meditate because I have so many thoughts go through my mind. I'm like, but what's wrong with the thoughts? There's nothing wrong with the thoughts. Just let them go through without judgment. Don't look at them and stop and say, why am I thinking of this person? These things and these people are coming up for a reason. Our mind's literally telling us, giving a whole list of things for us to work on so that we can unblock ourselves and we can connect with our superconscious mind. That's the goal. Because superconscious mind will allow us to do anything we want in the world, to have anything we want in the world, believe that we can. And until we can get to that point, then we're back, you know, blaming everyone and everything for all the things that are happening to us. Excuse me. And I really hope I answered that question because it was really long. It's a really long answer. I'm so sorry. You'll start noticing my answers are never short. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So I do teach this, by the way. It's called Awaken Your Inner Oracle. The link is in my bio. I'm also teaching manifestation. People who need help with that. Let's see, what else? I have a bunch of reading offers. Readings are what pays my bills for the most part, and all my other offers, but my focus is to teach people how to do this for themselves because we need to do this for ourselves. We need to be able to look within and connect with our own inner guidance systems to answer these questions. Because external validation is only going to be good for so long. Although I do see myself in the future in a part of a community being like the shaman person that lives in the cottage and I have all this stuff hanging around and I have things in jars in the background. Like, yeah, I totally see that for me. But at the same time, I don't want people to rely on me. You're welcome, Daisy. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't want people to rely on me or anyone else. I want you have to be able to wake up in the morning and say, oh, okay, I feel that I need to do X, Y, and Z. I feel confident that I can set my intentions for today. I have a question and I feel confident that I can get the answer without you know, reaching out and paying $125 for a psychic or more. And I'm not shitting on myself when I say that, by the way. I'm just saying, you know, external validation is necessary sometimes, but it becomes a habit, then it's a problem. We have the ability to do this for ourselves, though. Yep. The goal is to, it's a gorgeous view, by the way. Hold on, let me show you. I keep looking over here. This is Elephant Butte Lake. The sun's going down. But no, it's going to be great. We are getting to the times. Okay. Please forgive me my ignorance on how this works. If I would like some advice from spirit guides, would they be your spirit guides or would you tap into mine? Thank you. Yeah, so that's not a bad question, but that's actually a really great question because it's valid. I mean, sometimes I tap into just your guides, sometimes it's mine. Sometimes I have to go into your Akashic records and I can explain what that is as well. And sometimes I'll have like a private reading and I just can't seem to connect with you that well. And then someone from your an ancestor from your family will actually come through and help me. So it might be a great grandmother or uncle or something, but they'll come through and they'll be like, look, I got you. Let me just tell her this, tell her that. I'm like, thank you, thank you. So I connect with whatever needs to come through, whatever wants to come through and help me, basically. Your guides, my guides, ancestors, etc., etc. And it's only been 4 times total where I haven't been able to read someone. And out of like 200 readings that I've done so far. And there's a specific energy and I can feel it before I even start the reading. So I still try, but what happens is I'm diverted to whoever's around them or whoever's in the chat. And I'll start getting visions for them except for the person I'm actually trying to read, which is pretty interesting. It's like like I'm being pushed off or something. Oh, okay. Is there anything you can share with me now or would I need to book a reading? I can definitely do a free question for you, for sure. Is there anything that you would like to ask me? Anything going on in your life that you want to know about? And obviously you can book a reading at some point. Whoops. You could book a reading at some point. The link's in my bio, and that's, you know, private reading. I have a pretty decent list too, so I would just take your time, figure out what you're interested in. You know, based on however much time you want me to actually use, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 hour in, it's just an hour. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and ask your question. Just whatever's on your mind. I gotta drink more water. I think I'm gonna have a peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter sandwich, actually. I don't have jelly. I don't really like jelly on my sandwiches. I don't have much of a sweet tooth. I have someone to talk to tonight, which is cool, but I don't think we have much in common, unfortunately. I have this thing where at night I get really lonely in this van. And my cat doesn't know English, so, you know, as much as I'd like to continue talking to her, it's not that great. She's not a very, no, she is. She does talk a lot. I just don't know what she's saying. I have a lot of trouble creating balance in my life. I am caring for a disabled husband and twin toddlers. I just need any guidance on what can help me stop feeling like I'm always playing catch up. Okay, so they're saying immediately, they're saying heavy on the practice. Now, let me just tell you all of it first. Heavy on the practice, and then also knowing that you have more support than you think you do. And this comes with being open spiritually, which you'll have to, again, practice with, but at some point you'll feel more confident. By having more support than you realize, what I'm saying is that you actually have your ancestors, you have your spirit team, you can call it soul family, soul team, whatever you want to call it, but you have your guides that have been helping you whenever you are stuck on something and you hear that voice that sounds like your voice, which is your higher self as well, by the way, sometimes. It'll give you an answer like that. And you're like, okay, that's great. That's great. That's not just you. Like, you have support. What else? What was I saying the first time? Hold on, let me read it again. Um, oh, practice. So creating a spiritual practice. What I mean by that is the second you wake up in the morning, doing something for yourself. You have to do something for yourself at least a couple of times during the day. If you can only fit in one time, maybe 1 hour, that's fine. But if you can just do something for yourself, that's going to make you feel a lot better. And that specific something needs to be something when it comes to growing your own spiritual awareness. And there's a million different things that you can do with that. Something specifically for you, though, I do see you outside grounding, literally doing the traditional grounding with your feet in the sand. Although I don't see sand, I see grass. So I'm not sure if you have a garden, and I do see flowers. So feet on the ground, bare feet on the ground, flowers around you, some sort of garden area, connected with nature, at least an hour a day. If you can. Yeah, you should be able to do an hour a day. It should be doable. But yeah, that's going to help you. And then obviously talking to your guides. So, but what I mean by hearing, that's clairaudience. The reason why I said that is because I believe that's your dominant divine sense. By dominant divine sense, I mean that we all have these senses, like I mentioned earlier. Some of us have stronger ones, and those strongest senses are the ones that we're using whenever we are receiving messages from the other side. So for you, you're hearing more. So think about that for a second. Whenever you are the most stressed, it's kind of like you get an answer really quick about what you can do to solve the issue. That answer is coming from the other side. Like I see you doing something with your hands and you're getting frustrated and you just get like this help. Is it a bad idea to force my son to do his daily meditation? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say I like your heart's in the right place, but when it comes to meditating, any spiritual practice, if it's forced, yeah, if it's forced, it's actually quite the opposite of the whole purpose of why he's doing that, you know? It needs to be something that he wants to do. Plus, there's so many other things. There's so many other ways to meditate. We're meditating when we're washing our dishes, when we're driving sometimes, when we have certain music on, when we're walking the dog, when we are just existing. It's another form of meditation. So just remember that his meditation might not look the way that you think it's going to look, but it's his technique, it's his form. So when you force him to do it a specific way, that's actually going to ruin it for him, and he's not going to want to do that in the future. How did she know? Tell Evan that I'm psychic. And so is he. So are you. It's a beautiful thing too. I will look into that sense. Is that something that I can mistake for my own self-talk in my head? Yes, the difference between our higher self speaking, or our guides or whoever's coming through to us, as opposed to ourself, our voice is usually based in fear, ego. Yeah, that's actually the main two. Fear and ego. And then the other voice is wise. The other voice is sure. The other voice has intention. And the other voice is usually a very mature voice compared to yours. So sometimes it sounds exactly like you, but it's more mature and it's more sure of themselves, more confidence as well. Confident. You're welcome, Jenny. Yeah, Daisy, of course. Of course, of course. Thank you guys for asking so many amazing questions. Like, I actually feel confident that I can post this, because most of my lives is just like me twiddling my thumbs and picking my nose, Not actually picking my nose, but you know what I mean? So thank you for asking these questions. I appreciate you. You too, Jasmine. No, Jenny, your son seems amazing, by the way. He seems really cool. I'm actually curious to see if he's because I feel like he's tapping into some things in his dreams too. Realms, and there's other people there. Ask him if some of his friends are, how would I ask this? Does he have friends in his dreams? Does he go to hang out with people in his dreams? Oh, thank you. It's been a road. He sees a lot with his 3D eyes. Amazing. I bet he does. God, it's getting cold so fast out here. That's one thing about living in the desert, y'all. It'll be hot as hell during the day. Excuse me. And then at night, it's like freezing. I think it gets down to about 25, 30. Probably about 30. He doesn't think so. Okay. I see it's almost like he's playing a video game and he's part of like 4 or 5 different characters that are on some sort of mission. And I'm seeing them and they all seem older than him. And they're dressed in like those, like one has a samurai outfit with a katana. So it's pretty interesting. So if he ever has a dream and he feels like he's on a mission, I've been told that his soul is in 4 different locations. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, it seems like he's on some sort of mission in his dreams, which is interesting. Ouch. It's so funny because I call myself a dream walker. I rarely speak about dreams anymore. His soul is older than mine. Yeah, he's meant to do some amazing things. I'm so excited for people. There's so many people that are like starting to wake up and ask questions. They want to know like their loss and stuff. Daisy, by the way, it's called clairaudient. Clear hearing, basically. Clear hearing. Forgot to mention that again for you. And some of these readings that I have, I'm going to give you guys an example really quick. It's mind-blowing. Holy shit. This person is desperate. And she's like, I just bought a house. It's freaking me out. I walk in and I'm pissed off immediately. People come to my house. They fight. My family comes. We fight. I know I have negative energy in this house. I want you to help me get rid of it. She's desperate. And I'm like, okay. I'm listening to her. And I'm seeing the land that she lives on has some sort of high conflict. And she's in Georgia, some land in Georgia. And it's a very, it doesn't even matter what happened on the land, but it was a lot of conflict and it left a lot of strong energy. And I told her that. And she's like, okay, how do I get rid of it? I was like, no, you don't understand. This energy that you're feeling is all over the world. Like it's an energetic imprint that was left based on what happened on that land. And you built your house on top of it. And you didn't know, of course, but you're focusing on the wrong thing. This tension in your home, this evil in your home isn't something outside. You are so sensitive. You're the one feeling it. No matter where you go, where you purchase a home, where you move, you're going to feel this because you're the one that's becoming more sensitive. And she's like, well, so how do I get rid of it? I'm like, I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is, people tap into their abilities without even realizing it sometimes. And the things around them that at one point didn't really affect them start affecting them. She's like, well, my ex-boyfriend, he passed a year ago and I keep thinking about him and he keeps giving me his energy. And I was like, girl, listen, he's not doing anything. That's all you. He's coming into your energy because you're inviting him, because you miss him, because you're lonely, and because you guys were intimate and he was the last person you were intimate with. And, oh man, another thing too is she's like, I spent so much money on priests and voodoo priests and priestesses to give me all these different curses and things. And I'm like, listen, it's you. It's all you. And so I basically told her that from this point forward, if she wants to disconnect from the things around her and all the energies around her that are affecting her, because that's what's happening, they're affecting her, she has to visualize being in this shield of energy. And the shield of energy, this ball, this protective shell, is only going to be as strong as how confident you are in the protection itself. Does that make any sense? So I told her, I was like, if there's a crack, that crack symbolizes your confidence. That crack symbolizes fear. That crack symbolizes trust in yourself. You have to build confidence in yourself or else it's just not going to work. And that energy on that land and everywhere you go around the world, regardless of where you move, you're going to be affected by this. So she was still skeptical. She still didn't really believe me, but I think she reached out to me, and I think this is the same person. She sent me an email and she told me thank you, that she understands now. So she's focusing on controlling her abilities. But yeah, it was interesting. That was my first reading I've ever had where it was like a haunting, so to speak, but really wasn't a haunting. It's just a really fucking strong ass person who's tapping into her abilities. Tapping isn't even the right word. She was like fully engaged. So yeah, people are like so much more powerful than they think they are. I mean, I did feel bad for her at first. I was just like, ooh, she's gonna get pissed when she realizes that I'm not gonna tell her which candles to buy and, you know, to get some cinnamon sticks and, you know, burn them in a fire pit somewhere. Yeah, I lean more on the going within as opposed to rituals and practices. I wouldn't say practice, I'm sorry, rituals specifically. So I appreciate that stuff, but a lot of the rituals that exist are just help in manifesting or clearing energy. And if you need the help, that's great. But what if you could do it without the tools first, and then you can add the tools later? And that's why I don't use tarot cards. You don't see tarot cards in my hand. I don't have a pendulum back here, you know. But you guys have any more questions for me? I'm doing this every day, by the way. So if you want to pop in at 6 p.m. and, you know, ask me something, let me know. 6 p.m. my time. I'm in New Mexico, so it's mountain time. It's 8 p.m. for the East Coast and 5 p.m. for California, I believe. I think it might be 4 p.m. for California. 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm pretty sure it's 5 p.m. for California. I'm gonna go get a jacket on and get cuddling in my bed by myself. No, it's okay. I'm actually gonna go make myself a peanut butter sandwich. So, Jenny, it was a pleasure seeing you again. I'm so happy that you popped in. I appreciate you for following me. Thank you again. Jasmine, if you're still here, you know I love you all the time. And Daisy, it's nice meeting you. I hope you subscribe. I hope all of you do. And yeah, no, it's going to be amazing. Thank you again. I will see you guys tomorrow or whenever you decide to join again. Peace.